Hello and welcome to another episode of Eric DeWees Drum Talk. This is just going to be a quick studio tour to give you an introduction to the space that I have my drum set up and where I record my drum cover videos. So stay with me. All right, let's see. Hopefully you can see me in this shot. You probably have noticed by the chandelier up here, and you may have seen this in some of my other drum cover videos, that I have my drums set up in the dining room of my home. And that's because of all the tasty fills and beats I play. But in addition to that, it's because it's in the center of the home. And so it's the least intrusive on my neighbors. And then on top of that, the dining room opens into the room that camera's in, which is a large vaulted ceiling living room. And what that gives me is just this big open space for the sound to vibrate off of, right, and to fill that room. And I've got a room mic, a Shure mic placed, and I forget which model it is offhand right now. But I've got a room mic in that corner behind the camera, pointed diagonally at the corner of the room over here. And so it's picking up all the sound, kind of bouncing out and opening up into that living room. And I use that in varying degrees and levels when mixing, depending on the sound I want, to give it a little bit more space and to give the drums a bit more depth. And so that's one of the other reasons I didn't just set it up in like a bedroom, a spare bedroom or something. It's because that's just a tighter confined space. And this openness gives the drums a little bit more room, right? And particularly with that room mic over there. So we'll talk more about that in another episode. And then I think I'll move again a little bit over here. So hopefully you can see me in the shot. This is the audio interface setup, or the rack that I use, and it's in a mobile sort of case, if you will, and that's so that I can transport it if I need to, although I don't very often. But here I've got a Furman power supply, and we'll talk more about each of these in a subsequent episode, but Furman power supply, the Focusrite Claret 8 Pre-X, which gives me 8 microphone interface. And then a Focusrite Claret Octapre, which expands the 8 up to 16 total mics, another 8. I've got a headphone amp here, so I can have up to 6 different headphones, and there's some control over those if somebody's over here jamming with me or something, playing guitar or whatever. Some storage and lockable storage down here, and then a mic cable patch bay, right? So it's easier, so I don't have to run all the mic cables in through the back. We'll spend more time talking about that in another episode, but hopefully you kind of can get a shot and a sense of how that's organized. Studio monitors here. I've got a fan behind me here, which cools me off while I'm practicing. Some skins, some used, already beaten on heads over there, and some other new skins over there. Sticks all over the ground, that kind of thing. Trying to think what else I have here. That's really pretty much it. When I'm playing, I'm using the headphones, listening to the mix through the headphones, usually the drumless tracks. The monitors are not on at that time. Otherwise, I'd be picking up the sound of the song, and it would have some delay because the sound would go into the mics that are on each of the drums. Again, we'll spend more time talking about that in another episode. All of that runs into this, this Mac laptop through a FireWire cable out of the audio interface here. And then, maybe I'll move one more time. Hopefully you can see me in this shot. I don't know how many of these drums you can see, but hopefully you can get a sense. So right now the current setup I have is I'm playing an 8-inch rack tom, a 10-inch rack tom, a 12-inch rack tom, a 14-inch floor, a 16-inch floor, and an 18-inch floor tom. And I'm really digging the sound that the spread of toms gives me in a lot of the music I'm playing. And I've got a 13-inch tom in a case over there, which is a little bit more traditional kind of setup, right, where you would play like 12, 13, 16 floor tom or something like that. And it's a 22-inch kick that I play right now. So I think that's about it. I guess the only other thing I didn't really talk much about were the box lights that I had kicked back in the corner for this quick episode. We'll talk more about that in lighting probably, but I've got some box lights, and then I use some mic stands sometimes to hold the cameras that I shoot with. You'll see I get pretty creative, and I clip them on different things. I can clip them on drums, or on I don't know, this camera right here is clipped on a mic stand. So you know, I get creative with where I put the cameras just for different shots, and like to give people a chance to see sort of what I'm playing and how I'm playing, and in the event they want to learn the song that I've learned. So yeah, so that's about it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comments section. Just a quick tour of my studio, and stay tuned for another episode where we'll get into some more specifics. Thanks.